Here is the story. I 49 have to tell you that I never thought 10 years ago I would be a loser that would let someone 44 ruin my life. But here we are. I have posted over the years on the relationship for advice group, and now I am just in almost a catatonic phase where I am just letting things happen. So this is a vent because things have become unbearable again. Here is how it started. I was a fiercely independent single person until my late 30s. I would have 2 or 3 jobs at a time, or I would work full-time with a part-time job and school full-time, or variations much like that. I got my bachelor's, master's, and had a pretty good career, with only some fleeting relationships, some serious, some casual, but nothing that developed to the next step because I was focusing on myself. My dog I had during all of this was the sole mate of my life at that time. Then my parents each got sick consecutively. I moved to be near my dad and got to spend the last 2 years of his life near him, and then cancer took him from us. I was still managing to keep my career, but the grief haze was very real. I ended up moving to the northern part of my state for a new exciting job. Then my mom became very sick, and I had to quit my career and care for her full time. It was about this time I met him. A little while before I started dating him, I was splitting my time between the north and south of my state and would see him a few days a week. He was seeing someone else during this time, but he said he was breaking up with her. He was down on his luck, which now I see was a red flag, and he was a closet loser and needed some help, so I would help him financially. He did some weird things back then, like say he lost his phone, so I got him one on my plan. He would say he lost the money I gave him, and so I would give him more. I look back now and I do not know how I did not see through this. After some counseling, I have come to terms that I was in desperate need for a distraction due to all of the sickness and death in my life. He would disappear sometimes, and he would blow me off sometimes, and I one day decided to start looking at he call log from the phone I got him, since it was in his name. He was calling this girl he apparently broke up with about 20 times a day. Then, one day when he was drunk, I saw his phone code and got in his phone. He didn't even have me as a contact, and he had pics and messages and a whole beautiful relationship with this woman. I tried to break it off, but he had a sob story. He ended up breaking up with her, quitting his job, and getting himself evicted, and he had me kind of trapped. This is where one of the days I regret most comes to my mind every day. He said he needed a place to stay until he gets back on his feet. I should have said no, but I felt horrible for him. He moved in and never left to this day. My mom died, as well as the loving dog I mentioned, and I am all alone in this world. I have no family, and I had friends, even some good friends, but no friends that are willing to help me get out of this situation. Fast forward through the past 10 years, and he has stolen from me, beat me up for a short period of time, cheated on me. I have moved us around trying to find a place where he is happy and can be self-sustaining and I can have my freedom, but he always self-sabotages. He cannot keep a job, spends the majority of days smoking pot, binge drinks. I helped him put together a beautiful resume, and he tells me years later that he never even graduated high school. He is a loser based on any loose definition, but I still let him live with me. I am honestly scared of him because of the past abuse and his narcissism that does not allow him to accept any fault. I have lost all my savings, gained 100 pounds, had to refinance my house, and I am working 2 full-time jobs to recover what he has put me through, and as I know, some of what I have put up with myself. I moved us to a state that is much cheaper than where we were living, and after the refinance, some of the financial burden has been lifted, and things were going okay for us. We were getting along. He was keeping a job. We were able to go out and enjoy ourselves some nights. Even with this, things started getting a little weird. He is a gamer, and he drove up to his friend's house to spend the night, then go see his mother who lives in the same city, over Memorial Day. I had a friend coming into town to visit also for a girl's trip, so it did not seem like anything. The first week of June, one of my friend's husband died, so I went to the funeral and stayed overnight. When I came home, everything seemed okay. Then once a week he wanted to go up and stay the night at his friend's house. Mind you, this friend has a wife and 3 children. Then our dogs would need to go to the bathroom at night, and he would not be in the house, so he was sneaking out when I went to bed. He would disappear and not answer the phone when he got off work. Then I went out of town for work in the beginning of August, and when I came home, he had moved most of the personal stuff that I had in the bedroom either hidden in my closet or in the spare storage room. This was when I started thinking to myself, Is he having a woman over here to my bedroom and trying to hide evidence of me? Then he got fired from his job for threatening his coworker. He had some interviews, but then he would say he was going to stage a job. He is a chef. So that is when you go to a place to show them you can cook before you get a job, and would come home at 2 a.m. wasted with no mention of the possible job. He did this several times. I asked him to leave and find a new place to live each time he did this, but he refuses to go. Then, he said he was going to stage at a place he used a few weeks earlier. I asked why he was going twice. He gave me some fringe answer and then disappeared for a day. I again asked him to leave and get a place of his own, and he comes home and refuses to leave. Now, I had not looked at his phone records in years. I really thought it was sick when I was doing it 10 years ago, but I wanted to see if there was some kind of pattern, if I could see anything. Now I am an analyst by profession, so I psychotically downloaded the phone records into an Excel spreadsheet. He had been calling the same number 20 or so times a day since the beginning of June. I did a search on the number, and it is a woman that lives near his old work. I even analyzed the timing, and the only times he was not calling her was the times he disappeared for the night or day. Then I went out of town again a few weeks ago, and he had moved stuff into my closet again, completely changed the bed, and there was a woman's earring on the coffee table. How did I miss this? I work 16 hours a day working to support us almost exclusively by myself. I have let on that I know what he has done. He denies. He will not leave, and he is still unemployed, apparently trying to find a job and still calling this woman every day. I am not sure how to get him out of the house since he will not go. He has not been sneaking out or doing his sleepovers. I have a feeling he might know that I am going to load up his stuff and send it to a storage unit next time he disappears, but I just want him gone and to have some peace. I love him because it's been 10 years, and I would like him to be the best version of himself he can be, but I just want to be alone now. I have paid my dues trying to help him. I am done.